Yes, my people, today we are doing the top 10 players in Europe this season. Now, of course, this season there's been a lot of star talent. There's been a lot of, attacking quality on display. There's been a lot of performance this season across, obviously, their domestic leagues, but also in the Champions League as well. So, obviously, I know it's going to be hard. There's a lot of names to choose from. Today, I'm joined by my boy, Luca. And I feel like every time I'm with Luca, man, we always make something special, man.
Always, man. Always good fun. Of course, on my channel, we do the guest the players. On your one, rankings and stuff like that. So, the content always flies, bro. So, I'm glad to be here.
Now, listen, today's going to be tough.
Yes.
Because I know that there is a lot of attacking quality. There's a lot of performance that, a lot of people, if we include them, some people might, agree or disagree. We've missed them out. They might
That's the thing, bro. There's going to be a lot of good players we've missed out.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Ultimately, we can only have 10 people. So please understand that we are not saying that these are bad players because they didn't make the list. It's just that obviously we can only pick 10 people. So without further ado, we're going to go straight into it. Number 10.
In 10th, I've gone with João Neves, bro. I think João Neves has been one of the best midfielders in the world this season. I think he's someone that goes quite under the radar, especially because there's Vitinha in that midfield, who is the main man for me. But João Neves is doing the dirty work. Do you know what I mean? He's the one that complements well to Fabian and Vitinha. He's still so young as well. I think people don't really realise.
Yeah, people forget that actually.
Bro, what is he, 21, 22? He's so young and he's a top-level midfielder. Of course, PSG have been competing on all fronts, and in the Champions League, he's just been excellent. So I think João Neves has to make my list.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And it's crazy that you started off with João Neves because I actually got his teammate at number 10.
Which teammate? Because there's a few PSG guys in there.
Vitinha.
Okay.
I went with Vitinha just because, I don't feel like there's a right or wrong here. I just put Vitinha because I think he's like more so the dictator in that team. I think everything kind of runs through him. I think he's the heart and soul of that PSG midfield. And it's crazy how his career has kind of turned out in the sense that obviously he had a failed loan spell at Wolves. And then 5 years later now he's, winning Champions Leagues, playing for his country. You could argue right now currently the best midfielder on the planet, especially on form. So, and in this season, I feel like he's added goals and assists to his game, which I don't think he's had, in the last couple of seasons. But now he's adding that little bit extra now. That's not really needed, but it comes a long way, especially in big moments. So, yeah, I had to put Vitinha.
Yeah. Vitinha's also on my list, but a little bit higher.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie to you, I favoured the attackers.
No, naturally.
I naturally had to favour the attackers. But yeah, number 9.
Number 9, for me, I've gone with Luis Diaz.
Okay.
Now, it might be a little bit low for some people, but I think Diaz has to be on this list. I think in terms of left wingers in the world, I think he's been the second best, to be honest, this season. I think his jump from being a very good player at Liverpool to now being an elite level player at Bayern Munich, I think he suits the system so well in Germany. He complements Elise and Kane extremely well, and those two obviously rightfully so get most of the plaudits, but Diaz is that unknown assassin, the silent assassin in the attack. He's had some top performances this season as well. The game at the Parc des Princes comes straight to mind. That goal that he scored was absolutely outrageous. I think Diaz, in terms of transition wingers in the world, he's up there with the very best. So I think Diaz has to be in the top 10.
It's crazy how he's involved as well since his transfer from Liverpool.
What's he on, like 40 plus goal involvements or something?
Yeah, I think he's got like 23 goals, 20 something assists. It's ridiculous. Yeah, no, don't blame me. I just had him a little bit higher. Number 9, I've gone for Kylian Mbappe. Now, the reason why, I know a lot of people might raise eyebrows and say Kylian Mbappe, but the guy's got 49 goals of competition this season. Like I feel like he's a victim of his success.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure, and any other season and for any player, those numbers are absolutely ridiculous. Now, if we're talking about team success and how he's contributed to the team, and obviously with all the drama that's been happening, I can understand why people would leave him out. Maybe it's too individual, but we are talking about the top 10 players.
Yeah.
So this is an individual list. It's not a team success list. And for me, I simply can't ignore someone that's putting up those type of numbers. That's not normal.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not normal. And if we forget how fast he started into the season, the goal streak that he was on in the Champions League domestically as well. Yes, the season didn't go the way they wanted it to, but for him, from an ego perspective and from an individual aspect, I think he has to be on my list, so I'll put him at number 9.
In number 8, Liban, I got Kylian Mbappe. So, only one place difference. I agree with you, bro. In terms of, from like a goal scoring point of view, individual season, the numbers speak for itself. What is it, 49 goals he's got?
49 goals, yeah.
Like, the guy's an absolute joke. I think with Mbappe, it's the lack of important goals in Madrid's lack of success this season, which hurts him because I think it comes down to narrative with Kane.
Yeah.
I think if we look at playing numbers, he's always going to be up there with the very best players every single year because he bags goals for fun. But when you put context to it, he came into that Madrid team that were already Champions League winners.
Yes.
He kind of disrupted the flow, the rhythm. Then there's that whole dictator memes, whatever, him controlling the club, him having too much player power over the coaches and the board at the minute. I think that kind of factors into why I have him this low. But I agree with everything else you said, so I've got him in
Yeah. I think also, it's crazy that you say that because, I don't think ego's a bad thing in sport. And I don't think even in a team sport, I don't think it's bad to have...
you need it as well.
Yeah, you have to. To be at that level, that's what kind of makes a difference. That delusional, egotistical attitude sometimes can push you a little bit more further. And I always say Ronaldo had one of the biggest egos you could argue in football. But he used that energy in a positive way. I feel like Mbappe uses that ego in a very negative, toxic
way. I think it takes away from the team, his ego. It's too much, bro, to the extent where Ronaldo used it to drive himself, which then helps the team. He uses it solely from like an individual point of view. Like even the thing where he posted on his story the other day in the El Clasico, like, what was it? Something about
2-0.
Hala Madrid when they're 2-0 down.
Come on.
It's just, that's a slight dig like, oh, you're losing because I'm not there.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
100%.
Like,
it's
these
mind
kind
games.
of things. Yeah,
it's
of
mind
course,
games.
bro.
It's mind games.
So I got him 8th. Who do you have, bro?
8th, I got Luis Diaz.
Okay.
So obviously we kind of touched on him already. I feel like, come on, the season that he's having, obviously, we already kind of, spoke
gotta
about
have him in there.
You have to have him in there. So for 8th, I've gone for Luis Diaz. 7th.
7th, bro, Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
I think he could even be like that 6th to 10th range. I think it doesn't, obviously it's subjective. But for me, he had a generational start to the season, obviously with City. But I think what's really like separating him from a lot of the players, bro, is that campaign with Norway to help them get to the World Cup. That's one of the best individual World Cup qualifying campaigns we've ever seen. Yeah. And obviously in the second half of the season, he had that little dry spell for a few months. But again, that's the victim for his own success.
Yeah.
I think it was only 2 non-penalty goals he scored in a 2-month period.
Yeah.
But that's because we're used to him bagging literally every week. I think goal scoring wise, he's got 26 goals in the Prem. He's the top scorer.
Yeah.
City are only really in and around the title race due to individual brilliance from certain individuals. And for me, Haaland has outshone most people in that City team for that. And obviously what he did with Norway, you've got to factor that in.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So I got him 7th.
7th, I've actually gone for Declan Rice.
Okay.
Yeah, just because I think in terms of the season, and of course he's competing in this list with people that are, putting up numbers. But I think his importance in terms of Arsenal's success this season is vital. I think he's, again, similar to Vitinha at PSG. I think he's the heart and soul of Arsenal this season, both domestically and in the Champions League. I think, I think people have unrealistic expectations of Rice at times. I think they expect him to
do everything.
To do everything, and I don't think you can. And I don't think he's ever been that type of player either. But what he is good at is, protecting the back line, protecting the ball, being an engine for the team. And I think he's done that so well. And come on, a team that's has been undefeated in Champions League so far, we're top of the group phase, top of the Premier League for large periods of the season. You have to give credit where credit's due, and I think he's been the best player in that team. So I feel like he has to make it in my list.
I think that's fair.
Obviously, when we talk about Premier League Player of the Season, that's one competition. It's a whole different conversation. But in terms of you're looking at the overall aspect, Champions League included, I think I have to put in Declan Rice. I'll put him at 7th.
That's fair, bro.
Yeah.
6th for now. This is tough now because we're getting into the business side of things. I've gone with Vitinha. I think Vitinha's been the best midfielder in Europe this season, bro. Yeah. I think in terms of consistency, he's been ridiculous. I think he pretty much plays a full 90 every single game whenever he plays. He's never injured, rarely misses a game. It's only because PSG can rotate. They have the ability to rotate in those lesser games whenever he sits on the bench. But he's just, like you said earlier, he's the conductor in that midfield. I think Pedri in general is the best midfielder in the world. But this season, the way Vitinha's been operating, I think he's been number 1. And yeah, he's just the heartbeat of that PSG team. So I got him in 6th.
Okay, no, that's fair. I put in Haaland.
Okay, you got Haaland 6th.
Yeah, so again, kind of similar to the Mbappe thing. I think he's a victim of his own success as well. Started the season bright, and obviously kind of had that period where he wasn't really scoring goals. But again, we beat these guys with a stick of like, oh, you're not scoring 60 this season. You're not scoring 70. And
Messi and Ronaldo kind of warped our perception on the goal scoring thing as well.
Do you know what I mean? So I feel like with Haaland again, if he's on course right now, potentially they could win a domestic treble. Right now they're on course for 2. We are recording this just before the FA Cup final, so he could have 2 trophies. And then obviously still in the title race as well. So his season could still end positively.
And the World Cup.
And the World Cup as well. Obviously with Norway, I doubt it.
But he's going to bag.
But he will. He will for certain. uncertain. So yeah, I had to put Haaland in there.
Yeah, fair enough, bro.
Yeah.
On to the top 5 now.
Yeah, now it's where it gets really serious.
For me, I think we'll have the same 5 names.
Yeah.
I think up until now we'll have the same 5 names, but the ordering is tough, bro.
Yeah.
I think 5th I'm gonna go with Ousmane Dembele.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. Just because I think domestically he hasn't
The
really
lack
played.
of game time. I think he's
yeah.
started 17, 18, 19 games. Not too many games, but for me in the Champions League, bro. I think the way I rank a lot of players as well, especially like the best of the best, is like raising your level in the biggest moments. And the Champions League is the biggest metric for that at club competition.
Yeah.
Like, and Dembele he always turns up when it matters, bro. Knockout stage, like we saw last season. You might not say he was the most consistent from match day 1 to the Champions League final, but he won that Ballon d'Or based on the series, the business end of the season in the Champions League, which he's doing again this season. Yeah. So I think he's got to be in the top 5, and that's why I got him 5th.
I agree, bro. I think these are the moments that count, and the big games when the lights are bright and everybody's watching, and these Champions League knockout games and quarterfinals, semi-finals. That's where you want your best place to turn up.
Of course.
And he does. He's been doing it for PSG. You know, again against Bayern. Turned up again.
Always, bro. Scored in both legs.
Yeah, and they could be on course now to be the first team since Real Madrid to do back-to-back Champions League, and I think he's a big part of that, bro.
Of course,
a big part of that success, and even the way they play is it's down to that fluidity that he provides along with Kvara and Doué. So yeah, I'm with you, bro. I'm on that same page.
It'll be interesting to see what he does in the World Cup as well.
Yes,
really
yes.
So in 4th, I've got his teammate Kvaratskhelia, man.
Ooh, okay. I have him slightly higher. Okay. Yeah, I have him slightly higher. Go on, you go.
I got Kvara there because I think the other 3, I think overall from the course of the season maybe offered not as much in the UCL as Kvara, but league-wise slightly more numbers-wise, right? But Kvaratskhelia in the Champions League, I think he's been the best UCL player this season, to be honest. I think he's 14 goal involvements. I think he beat the record for most consecutive games for getting a goal involvement in Champions League history. I think right now he's probably the most clutch player in the world right now, if I'm being completely honest. The way he's turning up in games, everything's going through him. He's one of the most complete wingers in the game. I think in the final, Arsenal really need to nullify him. I think he's the biggest threat, to be honest. He can go on his left, he can go on his right. He's a threat inside the box, outside the box. He's an incredible dribbler. And he's only levelled up his game since his Napoli days. And I love Kvaratskhelia. He might be one of my favourite players in the world right now. Yeah. But I think the 3 I have above him, based on the course of the whole season, probably should be the top 3. Okay. But I think Kvara, I got him in 4th.
No, I think that's fair. I went for 4th Elise. Now, a lot of people would argue it's arguable that he could be in the top 3. And I'm sure you probably have him in there.
Yeah, I do have him top 3, yeah.
But the only reason why I have him just slightly lower is just because I think in those big moments, those big games, especially I'm thinking more about the Real Madrid second leg and the PSG second leg. Those are the moments that I feel like those are career-defining games. I think those are the games that
second leg he wasn't in it.
He wasn't in it at all, And I feel like kind of similar with the Real Madrid game. I think obviously he scored right at the death, but I think his performance again wasn't where you'd expect him to be this season. The numbers though, phenomenal. I think he's got like 23 goals. 32 assists. Yeah, I think that's over 50 goal contributions.
I think he's either just beaten or he's close to beating Messi's assist record in a single season, which is a joke.
It's insane. But I just think I think that's what for me separates him and Kvara. Because Kvara's who I have in 3rd. It's just that I think Kvara's got that X factor where it doesn't matter who's on the pitch, he will stand out and be the best player on the pitch, and that's just why for me I had to put him 4th and then edge Kvara.
I got Elise 3rd. So we literally just we've spoken about it. It's the other way around.
It's the other way around, basically.
It's fair, bro. It's fair.
I just think Kvara also is the best player at PSG, in my opinion.
I agree, man. I said it last season. I got cooked for it. I said Kvaratskhelia was better than, not had a better season, but he's better than Dembele, sorry. And I got rinsed for it. But I always stood on that just because of the amount of games I saw him in Italy. And this guy's just a special talent,
bro. To be that tall, and be that athletic, be that agile, be that quick.
He's
left foot, right foot. Yeah. I can beat you on the inside. I can beat you on the outside. All right, cool. I'll beat you for pace. Oh, you're faster than me. Cool. I'll just dibble dabble past you.
Defend.
It's crazy.
And he presses hard.
Yeah, bro. Mental. The work rate as well. From minute 1 to minute 90, it's a joke, bro. So I mean that's fair.
That's a toss of the coin. Top 2,
I don't know
the ordering,
It gets controversial here. I feel like because.
Oh, this is tough.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'll start this off. Numbers 2, bro. I'm gonna put Harry Kane.
Yeah, I hear it, bro.
I'm gonna put Harry Kane, bro. And I don't know, like, even Walid behind the camera is looking at us like, what? Like, you know why, bro? Yeah. Harry Kane, big respect. I understand.
What,
59
60
goals.
what, I was gonna say like 60 goals, isn't it?
this season. Bro, like, yes, numbers-wise and goal scoring, I think he's been absolutely the best player on the planet, best striker on the planet at the very least. And this season, he's just taken it to whole new heights. I just feel like I can't put Harry Kane above Lamine Yamal.
No,
it just doesn't sit right with me. You know what I mean? It doesn't sit right. And I know Lamine Yamal this season had a bit of injuries. It hasn't been his best overall season. But when he has played, especially in those Champions League nights and, you know, domestically, bro, come on, the guys. The boy's special,
I think Lamine's been the best player in La Liga. I think he should win and will win the league MVP. If I'm being completely objective, I do think Kane should be one, if I'm being honest, for his performances this season. So, objectively speaking, Kane is one, right? But Lamine is my favourite player.
Yeah.
He's the best player in the world, just as a footballer. But I will say also, just to add up on Lamine, bro, we have to remember that in the attack, Rafinha was injured for most of the season.
Yes.
Lewandowski was injured for a lot of it. A lot of the time, it was him pulling the weight.
Yeah.
Yes, Rashford had a good season. I think the goals sort of outshine his overall performances, but he was important with the goal contributions. Ferran as well in the last stages of the season picked up his form and his goals. But I think Lamine was the main constant in that Barcelona team. I think Pedri dropped off a tad compared to last season, but Lamine Yamal has been, for me, is still the best player in the world, and his performances have been incredible. But I will say, I think Kane probably should be number one. Like, if I was to do like a Ballon d'Or, power ranking as of now, excluding the World Cup, I'd probably say Kane as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair, and I know there will be people arguing in the comments saying, Kane has to be number one, and I'm sure, like...
They'll be annoyed that Lamine is that high. People will say Elise should be over him.
Yes.
People will say that, but I think context is important, and Elise has Kane there, he has Diaz, he's in a perfect system with everyone fit and firing. Lamine really didn't have that, in my opinion, so... I think maybe that's why I'm edging it. And plus, like you said, bro, I think maybe the second leg takes a little bit away from Elise. Like, we're being super harsh on that.
Yeah.
But, of course, if you want to be considered the best player in the world, in all them games, you have to turn up. And Kane, I'm not the biggest fan of his, I'll be honest. And I think in a knockout stage in the big games in the past, he's sort of been shy, let's say. But this season, I don't think his performances were incredible, but he scored. And that's a striker's job. He scored against Madrid. He scored against PSG. So...
Yeah,
I have to give him credit.
I've been his biggest critic in what you just said in terms of not turning up when it counts. And I think this season is hard to knock him because I think he's done his job. Even in the games where they got, obviously, the games where they end up losing and ultimately get knocked out, he still did his job. He still scored.
He did.
But for me, Lamine, bro, obviously he's had injury issues himself. He hasn't been fully fit himself. And to still be able to get almost 50 goal contributions in a season where you've been kind of blighted by injuries, you haven't been fully fit.
And been the main man.
And being a main man and having to shoulder responsibility. At times, bro, with Barcelona, it's give the ball to Lamine and inshallah.
Of course.
We'll make something happen out of it. Like, that's crazy. And he's still a teenager. Like,
it's crazy.
It's scary, insane to me. So for me,
I'm looking
bro,
forward to his World Cup.
Hopefully he's fully fit because obviously
he's coming back off the injury. But
hopefully.
That was tough though, bro. Obviously, I missed out. Like, there's a lot of honourable mentions for me, like Rice, Saliba. They could easily be in my top 10. To be honest. But there were so many great players that I just couldn't have to.
Like even Bruno, shout out Bruno, man.
I think with Bruno,
could have made a quick little, I tried, Bruno. The
problem with Bruno,
you're not playing Champions League football.
That's the problem.
You're not playing Champions League football.
It's the lack of games. It's just Premier League, Bruno.
Yeah.
Phenomenal midfielder, but just Prem. That's why I didn't even have him.
Yeah, I didn't even have João Neves.
Yeah, I had him in town. It's just tough, right? I didn't have Rice, but I wish I had Rice. Like, it's impossible, man.
Yeah, insane. But listen.
Thank you for having me, bro.
No, always a pleasure, bro. Make sure to also subscribe to Luca as well. He's got a lot of amazing content on there as well. Make sure to go check it out. And until next time, peace.